So, which MKBHD scandal are we talking about here? Because he's had several.
Back to the 2020s, and there was something related to a recession happening like a century ago. So let's have another recession for the 2020s.
Oh no, Drew initiated the recession! Speaking of guys, I just discovered that one of my cats managed to pee on my desk.
What?
And I didn't know it until now, so I have to go clean that up right now.
That's a bra moment.
Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of the iTunes Fanboy Podcast. As always, I'm Teddy Magger from the iTunes Fanboy.
I'm Tabby Cat, coming in 2025 now, which is crazy.
Yeah.
That is weird to think. And my name is Alpha DeWolf, still.
Yeah, this is 2025, our first episode, so without further ado, let's get started with our first topic, which, hang on, I gotta grab my iPad 7th generation for this topic, because this one's, in my iPadOS 4. This one's a very interesting topic, to say the least. Hang on.
Where'd he go?
He is right in his cabinet.
Yes, the big cabinet. Alright. So remember back when so you guys know how the iPad 6th generation didn't get iPadOS 18 while the iPad 7th generation, despite having the same chip and specifications, got it, right?
Yeah, didn't someone port iOS 18 to the iPad 6?
Yes. Somebody has officially... Yes, people have managed to figure out how to get the iPad 6th generation to run iPadOS 18.
How?
Wow.
Via the check... I'm guessing it's probably through the checkmate exploit, which is still present on the iPad A10 chip.
Oh,
so which is a boot ROM exploit, so Apple can't patch it. But that's likely my guess. But there's only been one. But there's only been ever been one iOS device in history that has been able to go to a further iOS version than Apple let it, which is the iPod 4. As Apple only let the iPod 4 go to iOS 6, but in 2018, mind you, so 5 years after this thing lost support, people managed to figure out how to get this thing to run iOS 7. It hasn't even been a full year yet, and people have managed to get the iPad 6th generation to run iOS 18. I guess I should say that the iPhone 4 got iOS 7 and has the same A4 chip as the iPod Touch 4.
In 2018, that thing was only 5 years old, and now it's what? 13 almost?
Yeah, the iPod Touch 4 released in 2010, so in 2018 the iPod Touch 4 was 8 years old. Yeah, it wasn't new then either.
But it was still only a few years outdated.
Yeah, it sure is. I mean, you could still get away with using iOS 6 sort of back then, but now there's no way you could. Well, in 2018, that was really when iOS 6 really went out of the usable spectrum.
I'm still kind of curious to know why some people don't try to do this with other devices. I mean, I'm sure they do, but man, does Apple make it difficult. And I mean, in theory, it really should be possible to get newer versions of iOS or software on these older products. At the end of the day, it's hardware and software. You just have to configure it to work with each other.
In a way.
The reason why that's not really easy to do is because iOS has very specific driver sets that work with very specific hardware on different devices. So as a result, it's really hard to get it working. Like, you don't want to know how many years people have been trying to get the iPad 1 to run iOS 6 or 7. You don't know how many years people have tried.
I've heard it's because it doesn't have a camera. Like, apparently, iOS 7 needed a camera to run.
Yeah.
Didn't we go into that a few times before?
Yeah, I think we actually have gone into that. But yes, basically, It's just because of Apple's strict exploit rules. Like it's very, very hard to. But this really goes to show you how Apple screwed up on the support thing. But do we have any more thoughts to say on this, or shall I move on to our next topic?
I don't really have that much to say about it. I don't think I've ever owned an iPad 6.
Neither have I.
I think it's...
Yeah, I think we're done with that.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, we shall move on to our next topic, which is Alpha got some new phones.
Right.
Crazy to think. I'm the frugal one here, and yet I got some devices added to my collection.
Yeah. At least your devices, every device that you have has a story. Unlike half of the stuff in me and Teddy's collection, which is literally just stuff.
Wait a second.
So
actually, that's about.
I finally got
collection.
it powered on, and I found out the model name of it. What's this? Wait, what?
The BlackBerry?
Yeah, I got the BlackBerry right here. So one of them is a BlackBerry Q10, and I just looked it up about this phone, and yeah, it's a Q10. Device restart required. A new software update has been automatically downloaded for your device.
Is it on your
Please
Wi-Fi?
save any unsaved work. What?
Is it on your Wi-Fi?
I think so.
Man, someone hasn't used that thing in years then. The last time those things got an update was like March of 2017. Oh, man.
Yeah, it says there's a software update available. That's funny.
It's probably the first time in 2025 that someone has updated a BlackBerry Q10.
That'd be crazy to think. So, apparently I have to erase my uncle's BlackBerry ID from this.
Oh, yeah.
It's a BlackBerry Q10, fully functional. Doesn't
They're
hold
cool
a charge all
phones.
that well, but
They're really
Yeah.
cool phones. I like those.
Reminds
I
me of
have
my
one.
BlackBerry Classic.
I found it a bit odd how the power button is just placed right here on the top of the device.
Ah, yeah, that's so annoying.
That doesn't actually bother me because I have so many old iPhones with power buttons on the top. So
No, it's in the
I
middle.
mean, it's not the worst spot. Yeah,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
the thing. It's in the middle. That's the weird
Oh
part.
yeah, let me check on my Classic.
And it's like recessed a little bit too.
Yeah, the recessed part is kind of annoying.
Who
Actually. They should've
recesses
made
a
it
power
protrude a
button?
little
That's
bit.
so stupid.
Yeah, it's like that on my BlackBerry Classic.
Oh, don't
too.
reset that if you haven't already.
I haven't yet, so.
Okay, because those, I think that they have activation issues. I'm not sure if they were fixed. There's a way to bypass it, but I don't think that you can set those up because the servers got like discontinued or something.
Yeah,
Which makes sense, because, yeah, BlackBerry's been out of business for how many years now?
Yeah, I mean, at
Well, I
least
mean-
with iPhones, you can still set the 2G up.
Yeah, or
I
actually
feel
you
like-
have to on firmware 1 you actually have to buy on firmware 1.0 you have to bypass it, but it's been like that for 8
I
or
think
9
that's only
years
if it's
now.
downgraded.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's one of the devices, the BlackBerry Q10.
It's a cool
Yeah,
phone.
Another one is actually quite familiar to my collection, just a slightly different variant.
S7. Verizon.
Another Galaxy S7.
Hopefully that one's
So, the
battery's a little
one-
bit better.
I think so. I don't know. So this is the original one that I had here. This is the AT&T version. This was my grandpa's old S7, and this is the one you guys seen when I showcased it for quite a long
Thousands of
time.
times.
This is the new one, the Verizon one. So, yeah, I now have 2 black Galaxy S7s.
Too bad
Wow.
they're not different colors.
Yeah, back in the day when these were like the latest phone, I wanted the gold S7 Edge.
Oh, yeah.
Because keep in mind, at the time, I was more of an Android fan than an iOS fan.
I never
then-
really loved the S7, but the gold did look kind of cool.
It did
I've
look
never been a
awesome.
fan of that gold. But that's just me.
I liked it a lot. And then,
5S.
yep, it's a 5S.
Did you ever get it working?
Albeit, right? Not just yet. I haven't had time to figure out how the heck I'm supposed to put this in recovery mode when the device has a broken home button.
think there's a
I
way
have
to with.
I have a slide. Have you tried? Did you try Legacy iOS Kit?
I don't think he knows what
I
that,
have
that
not
is.
done that.
I don't think I know what that
No,
is.
again, I don't do the type of stuff you do. You're the expert here.
Yeah. So what you need? So look up Legacy iOS Kit. There's a GitHub link to download it, and then I would highly recommend like maybe download it on your iMac or something, just because it's not the most recommended to use that type of software on your main computer. But basically, with Legacy iOS Kit, there should be an option once you go into other tools to enter recovery mode, and you should be able to do that, and then just restore your iPhone like normal in Finder, and it should work. And if it has FMI turned off, then you can technically downgrade the iPhone 5S to iOS 10.3.3, but my iPad Air 2 1, my
But
Mini
would
2,
I do that?
My Air 1, my Mini 2, which I've tried to downgrade to iOS 10 for almost 3 years now, I've had no luck doing that just because those things refuse to go into DFU mode. Like that.
Well, even if I do have like iCloud lock issues like you've been mentioning, I know the previous owner of this in person. This isn't like some random iPhone 5S I bought off of eBay. No, this was given to me by a family member. So I have the ability to get in contact and get that sorted, should that be the case.
Yeah, you're lucky in that case.
Even then, though, I also thought about potentially getting the home button repaired. There's a computer store in the area that I trust that also works on phones. And even though, yes, repairing the home button means the removal of Touch ID, why, I don't know. But
it's because Apple is the only company that can hold Touch ID.
Yeah. Then again, fingerprints and me and Touch ID don't necessarily get along anyway. So is it important that it keeps it?
You should take your iPhone 5C and your iPod Touch 6th generation there while you're at it.
Yeah, I thought about it.
Because your 6th generation especially, because the longer you let that battery expand, the more damage it'll do.
So, this display is a bit loose anyway, so that might actually want to get fixed at some point.
Yeah, maybe your 5S is an expanding battery.
No, because it's only from one corner, and it's the corner where the computer is. So if you look right here, I don't know how well it's going to focus, but you might notice there's a big chip out of here. I think that's why it's loose. It's because of that right there. But that's like where the camera and the computer is, not the battery.
The computer?
If they were the battery, then it'd be popping from somewhere else.
Logic board.
Oh.
So.
It's where like the top of the logic board is. The main part of the logic board is on like the main part of the board is on like the left side, like middle. I've had these phones bend and still have them like be relatively fine.
Yeah, I've heard of that too.
It's a smaller phone, so.
All right, shall we move on to our next topic now?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what else to talk about.
So,
in terms of my new phones. So.
Which MKBHD scandal are we talking about here? Because he's had several.
Honestly, I feel like all of them have kind of been nonsense. I feel like he's been everything but the wallpaper one. I don't really see why people are going crazy about it. Like, yeah, going, 95 in a 35, that's not a good idea. But, like, he's a grown man, you know, he does this stuff. He had an excuse for it, you know, and he even said he doesn't want people to follow it. You know, like, he's dealt with that. Then getting pulled over for 2 tints and a speeding ticket on, and keep in mind, the speeding ticket was on, like, an empty back road from what I could, gather.
Are you sure? Because the speed limit in that back road was 25 miles an hour.
So in the video, I heard him say something like, yeah, nobody was on it, or the cop said, like, yeah, nobody ever drives this road, but it's still 25, And if it was really that bad of an issue, he would have gotten taken to jail for reckless, because in most states reckless is like 20. If there was if there was an actual
Yeah.
threat being posed, the cop would have taken him in. And then the tints, yeah, tinting windows, it's illegal, but like, come on. People,
Well, it's not completely illegal. It's just the level that some
yeah,
people do it can get there.
yeah. It's like there are so many cars on the road with these heavily tinted windows. Who cares? You're not going to be able to stop them all. They don't pose a threat to anybody except for law enforcement and maybe a little bit of light issues. I've yet to hear an argument where people can say, oh yeah, tinting causes this and that. It doesn't really cause that big of an issue. Like I can't see why people would freak out over a damn tint.
The only reason why window tints are regulated is because cops want to be able to easily see if somebody's got like a gun, if somebody's carrying a gun with them in a car,
Yeah.
or something else illegal.
I've also heard
guns aren't illegal, but I mean other illegal
I've
items.
also heard an argument, where it's like pedestrians. I don't understand that, because like, what is it harder to see a pedestrian with tint in your windows? I think
No,
if you can't see
That's just dumb.
if you can't see a
tints are
person in
only on
front of
the
your car, then
outside.
you kind of have to move your seat up or something if you can't see a person in front of your car. I feel like, yeah, tint makes it a little bit
Yeah.
harder to see things and people. But like, if you can't, you're gonna hit a car before you hit a person. I feel like, because a person, that's a good bit. That's a good like big target, unless it's like a little kid. Which in that case, I don't really. I feel like little kids are pretty rare to just find on the road at midnight. You know what I mean? But
Yeah,
like,
there's a bunch of misconceptions when it comes to tint, and the biggest issue that I think it causes is you can't see what's going on inside. And it's like, I don't, from a safety perspective, like you mentioned, does a guy have a gun or a weapon or something, or is there other misconduct, or hey, maybe a crime was committed and some bad guys are dumb enough where they take, once they get in the car, that's when they take the ski mask off.
yeah. Oh, and
While
another
a
thing,
tint makes it harder to identify
if
them.
if someone has a
And
weapon, they're not gonna care if someone can see it. They're just gonna go. They don't care if the police can see them. You think not
Also, you
being
can
tinted is
easily
gonna stop them?
like you can easily hide stuff like that within cars too. Like if you put it down behind a bunch of stuff,
Yeah.
tuck it in. Like one time when I went into Subway, just because in Subway I tucked my iPad to be under my coat, just so that way no thieves would think. So that way thieves wouldn't think my iPad was there and try to break into my car. But I mean, it's the same type of deal. But it's really just the same type of deal of tinting, because cops can easily run license plates too,
Yeah.
and also
well, that only works as long as the thieves didn't switch out the plates before they did their run.
yeah.
But like,
Yeah, but even then, thieves can still be easy to spot, because a lot of times thieves or else criminals will speed really fast, and sometimes even in the wrong direction.
yeah, we're not really how do I say? We're not really a law discussion channel, but all I'd say is like, come on. If they're getting mad about that, um there's so many better things they could get mad about.
Yeah, like the next
The thing is,
topic.
though, well, the thing is, though, the reason why I brought this up, I'm the one who put this topic in, is because something with me just does not sit right, his decision. I mean, let me ask you guys this, without trying to be too self-incriminating, but like, if you had to drive a little faster than the speed limit, how fast would you guys drive?
If I was
Uh,
someone, if I had a car like that, I would find a back road, and I'm not. I would allegedly have a little bit of fun with the car. I'm not. I'm not gonna. I mean, people act like there's every single 35 zone is 35 for a reason. No, there are places near me where a 35 zone is only a 35 zone because in the winter, the roads can get a little bit icy. If they weren't icy, it would be a 55, 65. And then people say it's a school zone. I don't think I saw a school zone sign. I think I saw kids playing.
I don't know
sign.
about that either. I just saw, a pedestrian crossing sign.
Yeah, same here. So I don't know where people get the school zone sign.
I saw a kids slow down children and play sign from while all the footage was leaked, but I don't watch MKBHD consistently, so I don't know.
But I mean, how about you, Teddy? How fast would you drive if you were to drive a little above the speed limit?
Well, I would drive. This depends on what kind of road it is. If it's just one of those 2-lane back roads, then 5 to 5. If it's a low, then 5 to 8 miles per hour over. That's how fast I would go. However, if it's a rural freeway or a divide. If it's a divided highway, if it's a divided highway or a freeway, then I'm willing to push it a little more, like around 10 miles per hour over.
So for me, what I typically do, usually I do 5 over, and unless traffic begs to differ on the freeway, no more than 10.
Yeah, there's no. In my experience with that one time I drove on with that one, in my experience with the freeway driving is that generally traffic does not flow above the speed limit.
So 10 miles an hour is a big difference from what's the speed difference? Almost
60.
Like 60 miles an hour-ish, that difference.
Yeah.
And then just knowing from a personal experience I had, I was driving home from an event in a residential area. I'm about to make my turn. I actually had a little kid run right out in front of me, and I came less than a foot from hitting him.
That's why I gotta really watch out.
If that happened to me, I'd get out and I'd find the parents and I'd be like, control your kid. Like, oh my God. How do you manage to have your kid running around where this car's coming? Like, come on.
Yeah, just don't let your kids out.
The parent was there. The parent was there in this situation. The kid was fighting back and broke loose from the parent. So
that kid needs to be inside.
I felt so bad for her. Yeah, I think the parent had agreed. She after it came to a stop and she grabbed her kid, she gestured, "Thank you," and got out of there.
I had a similar thing happen to me on a back road. There was this kid on a dirt bike who was just like doing donuts in the middle of the road, right? And I'm going to turn and I'm honking at him. I'm like, "What are you doing? Get out of my way!" And he sees my car. He sees me honk. He takes off. He bolts in the other direction, and I'm still happen to be going that direction. So I speed up a little bit because, it's an empty road, and he's like bolting. He's looking back like I'm chasing him. I'm like, what are you doing? You think I'm chasing you? You're going 20 miles an hour on your dirt bike, and I'm just so happen to be going the same direction as you. Come on. Then
yeah, how fast?
He goes and he drives it into like a grass pit, and I'm like, why? I think he tipped it over too. I'm like,
how old was this kid?
Probably like 13.
He was 13. Oh,
right.
I would never do that. I would never be that dumb at age.
There was a cop there too. The cop was just letting it happen. I'm like,
what the heck?
I was so confused. Then his buddy was there too, and his buddy just took off on the sidewalk. And his buddy's looking at me. His buddy goes down to some random road. I'm like, do I look like a cop? I don't care what they do. Just get out of my way. I honked at them because they were in my way. What I was so confused.
Yeah, if you were a cop, then you would have directly shown your badge and told them to get out.
If I was a cop, I would have told them to keep it off the road, or at least be smart about it. Like, I don't really care if they take it on the road as long as they're following the law and not being dumb with it.
Yeah, exactly. There's these neighbors. Some of my grandmother's neighbors have kids playing, have kid used. This isn't really quite as much of a problem anymore. They used to have some, but they used to be like so many little kids, and they're like two families of little kids that would constantly just be playing in the road. And mind you, it was in the 30-mile-per-hour zone. It was in front, right by a hill. So as a result, this made a lot of drivers very, very careful.
Yeah. Man, I remember
And
a few years ago, this was actually when we were doing the show back then when I was doing this. This was funny. I wouldn't do this today. But me and that Big Sam guy were getting on our bikes, and there's this huge hill nearby. And we were going and we were flying down the hills on our bikes trying to see how fast we could get up to. I think we broke the speed limit on a bicycle. And then we would slam the brakes and try and drift the corner. Stupidest thing, right? And then I was with little Rob and we were doing it on a hill that wasn't even that steep. And he flies off that bike. He smashes onto the ground. His AirPods and his glasses almost fall down the storm drain. And he just gets up. He's like,
gosh.
"Oh, that hurt." I actually recorded it too.
Was he wearing a helmet?
No. I don't even know why. I was so surprised.
You gotta
that
wear
he didn't...
helmets when doing that kind of stuff. And Alpha, just on an unrelated note, what was the speed limit and when that kid ran out in front of you?
This was residential, so it was 25.
All right, I know some of
the
back
one
roads
for me
there
was
were
35.
So yeah, that's the thing that's really irking me about this whole thing. Imagine if the same scenario that happened to me happened, say a kid comes running out, and the reason why I didn't see him right away because there was a car parked on the street blocking my view. So it was instant.
Yeah, I could definitely see how that would
There's no way, if this happened to Marquez, there's no way that car's stopping in time. It's physically impossible.
Yeah.
And
That's
then
the
Marquez
biggest
is going to
issue
get
that
even
I
worse
have with
publicity
it.
for hitting a kid, and he's probably going to get to jail time.
Oh, he'd go to
for
jail
living
for
there.
life. If that kid died, he'd go to jail for life.
Yeah, so that's what I'm trying to still comprehend. Like, Marquez is a grown adult.
Yeah, that kind of puts it into a different perspective
he's held to a
for
higher
me.
standard. He should know he's held to a higher standard. And he has enough money where, he wants to take a car, go drive fast. There are places to do that, like
The track.
a racetrack, a
I've
drag
done that.
strip.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's 31 years old.
I mean, I feel like...
Just, why didn't he do that?
Why
did he think it was okay to just do that?
He probably... So he did speak a little bit more on it, and he said that he was on like some sort of a demo drive with it, right? And he had I guess, an experienced driver next to him. That's just my, I guess a professional next to him. That's just my own thoughts. And I almost wonder if they kind of had this road a little bit cleared and they were doing this for demo drives all week, because apparently it was some sort of a newer car. Right, it was some sort of a demo drive.
If that's the case, then why didn't Marquez at least tell us that the road was closed for this purpose?
I don't think it was closed, but I feel like they probably chose that road for a reason. With that said,
I don't like that.
We don't know what the road looked like, but yeah, your story does put it into a little bit of a different perspective for me. Also, check iMessage. I sent you that video of when little Rob wiped out.
I checked it. I saw that. Yeah, but I guess, and speaking of other MKBHD scandals, have you heard about the honey scandal that's been going on in the tech community, among big YouTubers?
Oh yeah, that should have been added to the list.
Yeah.
Yeah, what? I haven't.
You want to know something funny about that?
What?
Remember when I used to do the best tech of the year?
I remember when you put honey up there.
I put honey in my top 10 best of tech.
What happened with honey since then? Because my dad used to like using it too.
I've never used it, actually.
Apparently, they've been a scam this whole time.
I've never used it.
What is How is Honey scamming people?
Cookie tracking, basically, I think.
Oh no! Here's what's going on. There's two big things. The first thing is for the affiliates, the affiliate program, and for the people they sponsor. During the whole checkout process, if you use, say, creators like say, let's say MKBHD. If you use his link to use Honey at checkout, using Honey to find the best discount code, what Honey does is they swap out MKBHD's affiliate link for Honey's own personal link. So when the commission goes out, it doesn't go to Marquez. It goes to Honey. They get all of it. The creator that was sponsored by Honey gets absolutely nothing. And then the bigger thing is, this site is supposed to find you the best coupon codes to save you as much money as possible.
It's not.
That's false advertising. Because what's going on is they have a separate program for businesses, because, businesses, they don't want to lose. This could lose the money if Honey were actually a real thing. So what they do is Honey partners with these businesses, and they talk about all of the different discounts and coupons available, and the business gets to decide the best discount Honey will display. So if there's a 5% discount code and a 20% discount code, the business can tell Honey, you are only allowed to show everyone the 5% discount code, and nobody will know about the 20%.
Yeah,
I don't typically try to find ways to save money just save money on purchases just because when I look to find what's the cheapest option, I just manually go and look it all up. I don't use coupons just because I have some coupons from Walgreens they've given me when I've gone there, but otherwise I don't really use coupons just because, well, number one, most coupons aren't even for useful item, or they're not for items I buy, but also I just don't have room in my wallet for coupons, so
just, that's disappointing. I'm real disappointed because I tried using Honey myself, and I should have realized faster that it was a scam, because most of the time that ends up happening when you go to the Honey link to try to find discounts, it cycles through a bunch of, here's another funny thing. A lot of the discount codes it tends to use often have the name Honey in them. And so no wonder why most of them don't work. And pretty much all the time it just tells me, we couldn't find any coupon codes, you have the best price, when I have a feeling that's actually not the case. So
yeah, I think when PayPal bought them out, the percentages changed.
Yeah, is Honey a paid service or is it free?
It's free.
It's free, supposedly.
But they use weird tactics like Alpha just explained.
Yeah. Alright, shall I move on to the fire now?
Fire?
Yeah.
Like a Kindle Fire?
Do you have your notes open?
Yep.
I don't. I just want to be surprised by whatever's up.
So you didn't hear the news yesterday.
Alright, everybody.
The New York or whatever thing? Or the Vegas thing?
At Trump Tower, a Cybertruck caught fire, and they've since and authorities that have investigated have since found that
I'm getting a call. I'll be right back.
It was not because EVs explode. EVs explode so much more than they seem to explode so much more than they do, but it's because bombs were planted inside the Cybertruck. And I think Tabby had to go.
I found it so hilarious just reading the articles and such. So, for one, the unfortunate thing is I have a feeling this was supposed to be a terrorist attack.
It's definitely political because, Elon Musk, Donald Trump.
We're trying not to get political here, but I mean, when
this episode's already explicit anyway, so.
Yeah. When you have an Elon and a Trump-related topic, you got Elon Cybertruck and the Trump Tower in Vegas. I have the feeling that this is supposed to be a terrorist attack against the new officials that are going in. And so I think that's what happened.
Yeah, especially with all the other stuff that's been going on. Like, I'm not trying to get too political here, but did you hear about what happened on I-85 in Greenville, South Carolina?
I've heard of something happening in Louisiana that's similar to this.
In Louisiana there was something similar, but basically on I-85 in Greenville, South Carolina, there was an 18-wheeler that cops pulled over, and the driver claimed to carry a bomb. And the driver's intentions so far haven't been revealed, but basically all traffic between exits 42 and 44 on I-85 in Greenville, South Carolina have been shut down. Traffic has been redirected, I assume, onto 185 and 385.
Alright, so now that Tabby's back, he got cut off during the description of the headline topic here.
The Cybertruck thing, I heard a little bit about that on Twitter or something.
Yeah, so there's a bunch of kind of hilarious... Luckily, thankfully, some of our terrorists just do not have the biggest brains out there.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Because
none of them do.
If they wanted to cause a lot of destruction and harm to people, well, they should have picked a different vehicle because, for one, the way that the Cybertruck is constructed, a fire doesn't burn through it that easily.
Yeah.
So basically what's been revealed, at least... the only thing that was basically on fire was pretty much the explosive material that was in the bed of the truck. But the vault cover was closed. Obviously, you don't want people to see all of that. So the vault cover was closed. So whatever was in there was already struggling to breathe. And then you have to melt through all of this stainless steel, which, well... it's not exactly the easiest task for a fire to do, because metal doesn't combust that easily. And as a result, the only casualty that happened in this situation was the terrorist, his or herself.
What a goofy idiot.
So, I know.
Luckily, the battery never caught fire, which is sadly what some of the mainstream media like to run with. Oh, the Cybertruck was on fire. We all need to fear electric vehicles once again.
Yeah.
Dude,
I hate
the fact that it was an electric pickup had nothing to do with it.
I honestly, I can't fucking stand the people who, get, all pissed off over, electric cars, because there's cons and there's pros to them. A lot of people blind themselves to the pros and only feel the cons. A lot of people blind themselves to the cons, only look at the pros. It just annoys me because, I can say so much stuff about, any vehicle, you know?
I get it.
There's just, there's pros and cons to any vehicle.
Yeah. Like Tesla's don't have CarPlay.
Or 360 cameras.
Yeah, that's a big con
for some reason.
Yeah, you'd think they have cameras all over the car, and for some
arguably
reason,
some of the
Tesla
best cameras
to integrate a 360 system. Yeah, arguably some of the best out there.
But still, you know,
they refuse to use it as a 360 system. What the heck?
I don't get it.
Neither do I.
I mean, I guess Elon, if you were to ask Elon this question, he'll tell you, oh, but that's what FSD Auto Park is for. You don't need a 360 camera.
Some people don't want to let it
in the future,
park.
The car will just park for you.
But what about now? And what if we want to park our car?
Let's just say Auto Park doesn't have the best track record at the moment.
I saw a video of someone who got FSD. I think they glitched it to actually pull out of their garage and back in for them or something. which was actually kind of cool to
I know
see.
there's a function for the summon functions that allows you to move the car forward and backward manually. It's not the same thing as smart summon, but
Someone like
I know
glitched
that function
FSD.
exists.
They made FSD like pull out, and then they gave it like a false location, I think, something like that. And then FSD like it backed itself into the garage for some reason. I don't know why, but it just kind of did,
That's
which
odd.
looked actually kind of cool. See, stuff like that, being able to like just be like, yeah, just put this thing in the other way. That would be cool.
That really would be cool. Because I'm not exactly the biggest fan of going in reverse.
Yeah, I don't like having I don't like having to pull out of the garage, like back out of the garage or the driveway or whatever, and then have to worry about hitting something behind me. I'd rather just back in, know my driveway, know my garage, so easy to back in, and then forward out so I have better visibility.
Yeah, I typically back out when I typically park my car so that way I have to back out. And the reason how come is because number one, it's a lot easier for me to back out instead of back in so that way I'm not impeding traffic for quite as long on my street. But also, it's just like, and also I've a fence. There's a fence in my driveway, which makes it really hard to even back in.
Yeah.
Or those gates, I should say. But yeah.
I'm pretty good both ways. I just park either or, whatever orientation is just convenient at the time. Though I've learned the type of, especially when you are driving a longer vehicle like a pickup truck or a 3-row SUV.
Or your thing?
Yeah, or my car, because it's basically as long as those. My goodness. Yeah, having a backup camera is very nice.
Yeah, I like having a backup camera too when I drive a sedan.
Having a 360 camera is the biggest like thing that you want it, but you don't understand how much it helps you until you have to like just deal with. See, it's not even parking that it helps with. If you're trying to get around people in traffic, like if you're trying to get into a turn lane but you don't know if you have enough room to get into the turn lane, you know what I mean? It's easy to use that
would
to
help
see.
So much.
If you're gonna like curb your tire, curb your rim.
Oh yes, that would be so handy to know.
I still need to get my
car, shall we get on to our next topic?
I've learned how to use my mirror. I've learned how to use my mirrors enough to the point where I know where the sides of my car are relative to anything. The one thing that I just can't see and why that backup camera is always helpful is where is the rear bumper? Where is it?
Yeah.
There's no mirror that can show you where that is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I generally don't try to rely on my backup camera for backing out just because I know it's not good practice, but at the same time it's just like and I usually use the rear view mirror, but it's still so handy to have a backup camera, which is, again, it's a federal law now in the US that all cars must have backup cameras.
I just wish that there were some automakers that use better backup cameras. Like, I really do not like Porsche's backup cameras.
Yeah, they are kind of bad.
They're low quality.
No, they're fish-eyed.
Yeah, they had it right for a while and then they messed it up again.
Yeah, they just chose to use this super ultra wide lens, and like in my car, it's not picking a super wide angle, and yet I can see everything that I need to with that camera.
I feel like the issue is how they make it turn as you turn.
Yeah, I don't. Oh, wait, those cameras are on a pivot?
It's not physical, but it'll crop the image. So when you turn left, the camera like goes with you. When you turn right.
No, that's not a good idea.
The old Macan didn't do this. The EV does. And it's annoying.
Dude, how I can't believe Porsche messed up a backup camera.
Yeah,
dude, the
backup
Macan's
cameras are some of
backup
the
camera was
simplest
like
components in
peak.
cars.
Yeah, and I thought the GMC Terrain loaner that I had, that had an extremely fisheye backup camera, and it made parking that thing a challenge.
Yeah.
So, how do you screw up a backup camera?
Yeah, I don't get some of the stuff like that.
And like the fisheye gives it no advantage. Like if you're trying to put in a super ultra wide or something, guess what? I could see just as much information out of that thing as I could my car. And yet my car proportions everything much more appropriately. So why is the camera this fisheyed?
Yeah, I can't understand that. I mean, my car's backup camera is normal. Volkswagen backup camera, it's not 360, but it's normal. If anything, the Volkswagen's camera is a little bit too cropped in, but I don't really mind it.
So,
Yeah,
well, if you guys are getting sick of our automotive talk right now, we're not done with it just yet.
Oh
A lot of car
no,
related stuff we talk about.
We've got another topic, which is that this one's gonna shock Alpha and Tabby.
So,
Nissan, Honda,
merging.
and Mitsubishi have all been discussing a possible merger.
Yeah.
Makes me wonder what's going to happen to Infiniti then.
Oh yeah, because they're gonna have to choose whether to keep Infiniti or Acura. And more importantly, what's going to happen to
more luxury, Acura's more performance?
That would make sense. Okay, but what are they going to do about like Nissan, Honda, and Mitsubishi? Like they're all some very similar brands. So how are they going to? The FCC probably won't let them keep all three brands. Like they're going to have to differentiate them.
And what would you do with Mitsubishi? I mean, Mitsubishi has more products than just cars.
Yeah,
so
they have
they
like
just
air
absorbing
conditioners.
Mitsubishi's motor division.
I don't know actually, because that's actually.
I have no idea what they do with that, because like we used to have a Mitsubishi TV.
Yeah, I've seen Mitsubishi like what's it called? Air conditioners.
Yeah, those are a thing too.
Yeah.
So would Honda just take the automotive?
Maybe
division?
they'll sell the rest to some other company.
I don't know honestly, because
that or maybe Mitsubishi might just exit the market entirely. They really don't do well here at all.
No,
Really?
I see like a Mitsubishi car every few months in my area.
I see them every day, but I don't see a lot of them every day. I see maybe
No.
like
I see
80 Toyotas for every one Mitsubishi.
I would say
Yeah, there's one Mitsubishi Eclipse driver around here. Eclipse being the SUV, not the sports car Eclipse.
Yeah.
I see them drive.
That's the only Mitsubishi I see on a regular basis.
I see
And
one.
people don't buy them because it's a good car. They buy them because they're cheap.
Exactly.
Yeah, 100. Yeah, I see about 100 Toyotas for every Mitsubishi I see, and for every Mitsubishi I see, I would see 20 Teslas.
I mean, I will say this, the Evo was cool.
Oh, is that the sports car, I think?
Yeah, the Lancer Evolution.
I mean,
Well, I'm sure that's because they based it off of the Nissan Z.
It is?
I would think.
Hold on, look up Lancer Evo.
Let's see. Google.
Looks more like a WRX to me.
Evo.
I mean, I guess on a related note to Mitsubishi making other stuff, I mean, Honda makes other stuff besides cars too, for they make motorcycles and generators.
Yeah, that does look more like a Subaru WRX.
Maybe they'll just keep on. Yeah. Maybe they'll just keep that division as Mitsubishi and just like let those people do what they want.
Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that goes. But shall we talk about some rumors now?
I just hope that Honda doesn't absorb Nissan's transmission division.
Oh,
I hope that Honda doesn't absorb Nissan's EV division.
Actually, Nissan's currently building more EVs than Honda at the moment, so it would be a good idea if they did. Actually, Nissan's making the best Japanese electric car right now. Because the Honda Prologue electric, that's technically not Honda's product. It's a GM Ultium product with a Honda badge on it.
Ah.
So technically, out of all the Japanese automakers right now, Nissan technically is making the best electric cars. Albeit, it's not saying much.
No. It's like saying Mazda's the best EV maker. Remember back when Alpha tried to... Remember back around a year ago when Mazda transitioned to NACS, and so Alpha started off by saying that Stellantis
that was
transition.
Hilarious.
Yeah, Alpha said that Stellantis transition, but then he slowly mentioned how Mazda was actually the one who switched.
And Mazda hates electric vehicles more than anybody else.
Yeah, they're trying to revive those rotary engines.
Mazda's
and
interesting.
Still trying to make them work.
Yeah, Mazda.
I mean, if you're into their gas cars, I mean,
they're good.
For time, I was considering buying a Mazda 6, something like that.
They're kind of cool.
They're great cars to drive.
Yeah, Mazda doesn't make bad gas cars, just that they need to get a little bit in the present.
Yeah, that's just the thing. They make great gas cars. We're kind of in the process of moving away from gas cars.
Exactly. Gas cars are going to become more of an enthusiast type of thing.
I will say, though, I think Stellantis is going to die.
I think Stellantis is, GM's, or no, not GM, Chrysler, Dodge, Ram, they're going. Dodge has stopped selling the Challenger and Charger. Most of that company's cars are total pieces of crap. They're just continually well-known cars. Yeah, they're gone.
Chrysler only has the Pacifica, which, I mean, from a reliability standpoint, I don't know how great it is at that, but...
My God, that car.
The Chrysler Pacifica, in my opinion, is the best car that Chrysler makes. The problem is it's a minivan, and who wants minivans?
Yeah, I was not a big fan of that thing when we had it as a rental.
My mom used to have one, and it was pretty nice and stuff. My mom had one from 2015 until 2020, and it was nice on the inside. But the problem was that basically after 2017, after 2017 and 2018, or in 2019, I don't remember when it worked.
Yeah. I don't think they're going to be able to rebrand their way out of this one again. How many rebrands has this company gone through?
They've gone through so many, and I mean, mind you, they got bailed out in 2008 as well. As GM.
That was a waste of money, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, GM, I would say I'm honestly a little bit uncertain about I'm slightly uncertain about GM's future too, just because it's not necessarily it's not their EV division isn't doing okay, but the problem is that GM is just GM, basically the only reason why they're surviving is because the government is bailing them out. But now that it's changing hands, U.S. government is changing hands. I don't know if GM is going to be able to survive this big transition period.
Oh, I think they're going to survive. In fact, I know this because the dealer, again, this is a dealer literally in the middle of nowhere. They are struggling to keep an electric car on the lot.
Well, that's a...
You'd be surprised at how much demand there is for GM EVs right now. The Equinox especially, that is up there with one of the best-selling electric cars right now, and for good reason.
I mean, I guess that makes... I mean, that does actually make sense for... I mean, that makes sense because GM doesn't quite make... Again, Alpha... I know this might sound kind of like a regionist type of thing, but I don't know, but Alpha lives in the Midwest, and generally people in the Midwest tend to gear more towards GM, which I mean makes sense because GM is based in Michigan, so obviously it's gonna do. Obviously, GM kind of knows their terrain, which is why GM does really well up there. And I mean, GM does.
I think GM's fine. They have that stupid big truck.
Yeah, GM I think is
just like everybody else. Everybody else has a stupid big truck.
Yeah, I see way more of those goofy Ram 1500 power wagons now, whatever it's called. The big trucks that apparently don't come with turn signals or working brakes.
Wait a second, they don't come with turn signals?
Well, the owners will make you believe that.
Yeah, it's a joke.
What?
Have you ever seen one of them use the turn signal?
It's like the joke about BMW drivers not knowing how to drive with turn signals.
Have you ever seen a big truck driver use their turn signal? Maybe once or twice.
Yes, I think I have.
Only like once or twice.
I hardly ever see it up here.
I've never... I will say this. My dad drives a BMW, and it seems like he's forgotten, and it seems like 75% of the time he doesn't know what a turn signal is.
Yeah.
Well, my dad forgets his...
my friend who just got an F-150.
Does he know how to use his turn signals?
He used to, but we found out that the turn signal stock in the 2012 Ford F-150 borrowed a few too many design characteristics from BMW.
Oh, it's got that stupid, weird...
It's got that stupid stock, and oh, is it bad.
Oh, come on.
For context, we're talking about the turn signal that returns to the neutral position once you engage it.
Hated that. That's fine.
That reminds me. That's like my mom's old Mercedes 2014 Mercedes whatever her previous car was.
Yeah, someone didn't realize this is supposed to be a switch, not a gesture control. So,
I hate to admit this, but we got off topic.
I was shocked. Yeah. I was just so shocked. The first time I drove his F-150, I flicked the turn signal, then I realized I just can't believe this truck has this terrible turn signal design. I can't believe Ford copied BMW. And then if you get a Tesla with turn signal stocks, they have the exact same design.
I'm guessing.
How well do Tesla drivers use their turn signals in your area?
Huh?
How well do Tesla drivers use their turn signals in your area?
I've never noticed Teslas using their turn signals badly, but generally the worst drivers in my area drive. I've seen a lot of bad drivers drive Toyotas. There was that one Toyota that I accidentally hit because he was parked where he shouldn't have been.
Today I was next to a Model X Plaid, and he couldn't decide which lane he wanted to be in or whether or not he wanted to use his turn signals, and I had to get in the left lane. So I put my signal on. Right when I did that, he used all that power to block me in.
Oh my.
So then I sat behind him for a good long while before he dashed across an entire freeway. No turn signal,
Ooh.
just dashed across it into a turn, into an exit. I'm like,
oh my gosh,
well,
that's how's. I'm pretty sure a driver's not a good driver. For number one, they're for number one, most states have keep right except to pass laws, which means that they generally want people to stay towards the right, so that way when you get ready to exit, you don't have to go over 2 or sometimes more lanes of traffic.
I have no idea why.
Yeah,
why
I'm not entirely sure which turn signal design is worse. Tesla's stocked turn signal design, because it's the same as BMW's, or the turn signal buttons on the steering wheel.
Oh, those things.
Honestly, I think I prefer the buttons on the wheel.
Same.
That's just me.
Man, I
Anywho, yeah, you're right. We got severely off topic.
All right, we only have 17 more topics to go, so we're good. So we probably won't get to all of them, but the iPhone SE4 is going to apparently actually be called the iPhone 16e.
Yeah, I still don't think that phone's gonna come out, but we'll see.
Yeah, that's been rumored for so long, but I don't know.
It's probably just gonna be another stupid home button iPhone.
I hope not. I hate everything there is about home button iPhones.
Don't understand why they still exist.
The wasted space.
Yeah.
Touch ID in particular.
Yeah, I mean, at least with the iPhone SE3, back when that released in 2022. Hang on, let me grab it. Let me actually grab them. At least back when the SE3 was current, you could argue that because the iPhone 8, the iPhone 8 was still supported when the SE3 came out. So therefore, you could argue that it's not an obsolete design. For the 8 is still supported. Guess what? Now the only home button iPhones that are supported are the iPhone SE 2 and 3. These guys. Well, not the Gold 8, but
Nonsense.
Yeah, we don't need that button anymore. It's time for it to go. It's been time for it to go how many years ago?
Yeah, at least with the SE2,
even people I know who used to insist they need home button smartphones or whatever. Like my grandpa, for the longest time, he still had the buttons turned on his Galaxy. And then, past few times I've visited him, his phone now has the gesture system turned on. I didn't turn it on. He turned it on himself.
Yeah, my grandmother's been using the gestures ever since she got her 10R back in August 2019. And it was August 2019. And furthermore, most people I know have switched to a gesture system because it's just easier. And personal. And the home button, at least back when the SE2 was released, you could argue that many people still had home button iPhones at that point. I was still using I just got my 8 Plus when the SE2 came out. And when the SE2 was current for most of the time, my S8 Plus is also my main phone. However, when the SE3 came out, I upgraded to an iPhone 11 Pro Max. Which obviously has very thin bezels. But I guess speaking of iPhones without home buttons, shall we move on to our next topic?
Yeah.
Sure.
The iPhone 17, the standard model, is rumored to have a 6 3/10 inches display, a 24 megapixel front camera, and matte glass on the front.
matte glass on the front.
Anti-reflective.
Oh, goodness. I hope it's not matte. I really hope it's not matte.
The iPhone 17 is going to have is rumored to have matte glass on the front.
It's weird.
Yeah, I do not like matte screens, for they look horrible.
They look bad. It ruins the colors.
Yes.
Makes your screen look fuzzy. Just no. I hope that doesn't come to fruition.
I hope it's an option. Probably nanotexture.
Yeah, hopefully nanotexture glass may. I mean, if you want it, then make it an option. However, realistically, I think nanotexture glass should be reserved for the Pro. But otherwise, just don't. If a nanotexture glass thing is really taking off, just offer it on the iPhone 17 Pro. No, don't make it default on the standard.
How many people buy Macs with the nanotexture?
I think they're pretty cool.
I mean, yeah, because I don't personally like nanotexture glass, but I mean, I get how people are, but I get what people think. But the iPhone 17 lineup is looking so disappointing this year. The iPhone 17 Pro side's rumored to go to aluminum. The back is going to be made out of this weird glass and aluminum combo. Like, I just don't like the direction the 17 Pro is rumored to head in for that reason, because I want titanium, not aluminum.
Welcome to my world, Teddy.
Aluminum is for the average Joe. I am not an average Joe. In case you can't tell by my giant cabinet in my box tower, I'm not an average Joe.
Oh, speaking of that, Teddy, do you have any giant cats? Like any cats
how big are we talking about?
Like any cats that are like over the average size of a cat?
Yes.
Oh, that's cool.
Or I don't know if necessarily I mean, Orangey, who's my biggest cat, he weighs 18 pounds.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, but I mean, even 18 pounds, like, that's not too unheard of for a cat.
Yeah.
Why'd you ask me about cats all of a sudden?
Well, you were talking about your giant cabinet, and that reminded me of giant cats.
Ah, I get it. I mean, the cat is my profile picture, so I guess it's on topic. But shall I move on to our next topic about the iPhone 17 Pro?
Sure. Unless Alpha has anything else to say about that. Giant cats included.
The iPhone 17 Pro is rumored to have a 48 megapixel telephoto lens.
Oh, cool. So we're going to get triple 48 megapixel cameras.
To help compete on Zoom?
Yes. That, to be honest, like, that actually said, I don't necessarily take that many far away photos, but when I do, then it would be really handy for things because I actually take some far away photos. Like if I'm on a road or something and I want to capture something far away, or else if I'm looking outside a window and for being too cold or whatever, I don't want to go outside and take pictures of something, then I just like using the zoom functionality. So I personally really like that idea. That reminded me of
a cool incident. Yeah, I was trying to take a picture and I needed to use the zoom lens on my 13 Pro Max to get it, and I don't even think it was zoomed in enough. But the reason why I needed to take a picture like that was because for the first time ever, I found another Buick LaCrosse hybrid.
Oh, really?
You almost never find these cars. My car is... A lot of people don't like to get the hybrid version of the LaCrosse because, you get the downgraded 4-cylinder and it's a little slower and such, even though it does give you massive fuel economy benefits. Most people get the V6. But on my way into town, I think I was going into work on Tuesday. I think it was Tuesday. On my way into town, I saw The only way you can tell from the outside whether a LaCrosse is the V6 or the hybrid is you have to look at the rear diffuser where the exhaust pipes are. On the V6 models, the exhaust pipes are exposed. In fact, the diffuser has a cool design to kind of emphasize them. The hybrid models, however, hide it. And that's what I found.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's kind of... I can get needing to take pictures of kind of cool stuff, because when I was a passenger and I was when I was on my road trip for fall break, I tried to get, there are many things I tried to get photos of, and I used my iPhone 14 Pro's telephoto lens, got a lot of exercise that road trip.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna, I won't get into specifics or show you any photos, because then you guys will know where I was, and that's not, and I'm not revealing that.
Yeah, I found I've been using the zoom a lot to try to take pictures of the car in front of me, because how many times have I done that at the LaCrosse, obviously? There's a couple Rivians that I managed to get a couple pictures of as well, including a Compass yellow one. That is like the most rare Rivian color out there.
Rivians are so cool. Oh, speaking of Rivian, you guys know you guys know my friend's mom with the Model 3, right?
Yeah,
yep.
Yeah, Rob.
She's looking at
he was
getting
on
a
the
Rivian
podcast,
next.
Or he was in the failed recording.
Yeah, they're looking at a. I'm not sure, but it might be a little while, but honestly, that is going to be awesome, and I'm definitely gonna want.
Do you have a showroom near you?
I don't know. Maybe we'll figure that out in August, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Let me look up where. Let me look up where Rivian showroom.
I've seen a few of them. I remember a bunch of them kept on getting either repoed or taken back for some reason when they came out.
Oh yes, there is a Rivian.
I wouldn't have been shocked about that.
There's a Rivian showroom. There's a Rivian showroom, or I mean, it's technically a dealership, but are Rivian dealerships technically like showrooms?
Yeah, they're basically the same thing, just slightly different branding.
Yeah, I bet there's one like an hour away from me.
I'm gonna look it up.
I was referring to like the DC area, but okay.
Yeah, I just looked it up for myself just because I was curious. Because even though I probably won't get to go for several months, just because it's an hour away from me, so and so as a result I have to get. And so as a result, it's just hard for me to coordinate trips that far.
Have I told you I've been to the factory?
Yes,
I think
you
I
showed it on
remember.
your vlog.
Yeah. Alright. I do have to look though, real quick. Let me see. I got to zoom out.
Alpha, check group
forever
chat.
to load. 1 sec. I need to zoom out. Oh, so there's a few in the area.
How do these cars lease?
I don't know.
I'm gonna check that out, because honestly, 45.
Wait, you're not thinking about it, are you?
I mean, it's a possibility. I mean, 0 to 60 in under 3 seconds. I think I can mess up anyone at that stupid stoplight where the lane ends. Imagine that. Imagine getting messed up by a electric SUV. Well, they already do, kind of, but I don't know. I feel like in the future, if this leases well, if there's still the federal tax credit thing for, I don't know if they have that in Virginia or not, but I feel like that would be a cool car.
Yeah, it would be. But yeah, Rivians are. I personally
just make sure it has an AX port on it.
Oh yeah, maybe
Yeah,
even after the ID4, but I don't think they'd want that. They don't like the design of them. I don't know why.
Yeah, I personally like the design of Rivians, not that much, but I'm just gonna get a Tesla just because I don't like SUVs or pickups, or I mean I like pickups, but generally like I just a sedan is fine for my needs.
I would get the SUV just to have it. Just if they had a sedan like that, I would be much more into it.
I mean, the problem is that sedans don't really fit the adventure vehicle brand that Rivian wants to create.
Yeah.
As Rivian
I mean, imagine they made a hatchback
replaces
though.
Jeep.
Hatchback would be cool.
Well, they've supposedly designed one.
I bet
The
that
R3.
would. Oh, the R3 is a hatchback? I thought that was another SUV. Huh.
Well, it's a smaller, compact SUV and such, though.
That would be.
I'm still trying to figure out the difference between a hatchback and a compact SUV.
Hatchbacks are usually lower and like smaller in general. Hatchbacks are basically just like sedans with a SUV trunk, from what I can tell. And a small SUV is basically just a smaller version of an SUV.
Yeah, for me, though, I'm more interested in their pickup truck. That's the most interesting vehicle to me.
Yeah, because it's
Those can
actually
tow,
a decent
right?
size for once.
Yeah, they can tow. They're actually quite capable.
They're doing cool things. I'm excited to check those out. I've yet to drive a Tesla or Rivian or Lucid, but I want to try them.
Well, hey, maybe in August we can get that fixed up.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah, I'm not good. Yeah, FYI, I will not be. FYI, Tabby, I thought I should mention that I won't be able to make it.
Yeah, I could assume so.
Because I'll be in school.
Oh, unfortunate.
Oh yeah, I keep forgetting your state does school in August.
Most southern states start school in August.
Hate the fact that, well, not like I'm ever gonna have to deal with that again, but I hated just like having to deal with like later August school. Even, man, had to deal with that in like July one time, but
Oh, I often have to go to I often had to go to registration in July. In fact, my registration is usually in late July, but there's been a couple of years when I've started on August 1st.
yeah, that's how Indiana does it.
Yes, August 1st. We were so worried about whether it was going to back into July.
Indiana's May 23rd through August 1st. That's your summer break. If you have summer school, it ends on June 17th, I believe, or 23rd, something like that. So you just missed WWDC. And yeah.
To be fair, most kids don't go to summer school, but May 23rd to August. Well, where? In Indiana?
Indiana, yeah.
Yeah, some of the oftentimes the lower Midwest states often start earlier too.
Yeah, I hate the fact that some people have to deal with going into school and having these long days in August. Like I will.
Hello, somebody has to do that.
I'm not gonna miss that at all. I'm not gonna miss having to wake up early. Honestly, I feel like everyone says, "Oh, school, you're gonna have to deal with that when you get a job." You get paid to go to a job and work. You don't get paid to go to school.
Yeah, the payment at least makes it easier.
At least you're doing it for like money.
And also, big difference between school and work is that most typical office jobs start at 9 a.m.
9 to 5.
Most schools
are 7 to 3.
Most schools typically start at like 8 a.m. oftentimes earlier.
And it doesn't make sense.
And then to make the bus, some kids have to get up like 5:30 in the morning.
A lot of times, a lot of girls actually have to get up at like 5:15 or something like that, just to fix their long hair.
Yeah, that's something that I've never had to deal with. I don't think any three of us have had to deal with any of that.
Remember back when Alpha had
I
long
used to have
hair?
to get up at 6 though. Yeah, dude, I let my mullet grow out so big.
Little Rob had a big afro going on for a while. You guys should have seen that thing. You could shove like fruit in there, and you could hide fruit in there.
Oh wow.
We're off topic. What is the next topic that we have?
Yes,
Yes, we're very, very off. Okay, so this actually now wait. Actually, I'm gonna get rid of this topic because we've mentioned this before. So let's go ahead and let's cut this out. Let's go ahead and move on to our next topic, which isn't something we've covered before, which is that the AirTag 2 is rumored to release in this May. It'll apparently increase the range. It'll apparently fix the speaker and not disable without the rest of the AirTag. And it's going to work better with the Vision Pro in some unknown way.
Wait, hold on. What about disabling the rest of the AirTag with the speaker?
So you know how on current AirTags there is a way to disable a speaker without disabling the rest of the circuits. So that way the AirTag cannot chirp to let you know.
That's stupid.
Like if stalkers are trying to get you or something.
Yeah, it was a really bad design flaw.
Why could you get rid of the speakers? There's no reason.
The point of disabling the speaker but keeping the rest of the AirTag isn't for us, it's for stalkers and potential criminals.
Yeah, it's for thieves to be able to go and... Yeah.
Yeah, that's why we all agree that design flaw is bad, and that's why Apple's attempting to get rid of it with the second gen.
That's... Yeah.
The only flaw...
I destroyed an AirTag, by the way.
What happened?
Everybody take note. Do not throw your AirTags in the washing machine. They will not survive the washing machine.
Really? I thought they were supposed to be somewhat water resistant.
Not mine.
Wow.
Let me look it up, actually.
I still have...
Yeah,
I think I have 3
I left
AirTags.
my wallet in my pants on accident, and I have an AirTag in my wallet. Yeah, it also ended up destroying the wallet, too, so that's also the other reason why I got my new one right here.
Ew.
Yeah, so... Oh, yeah, you don't... Here, do I still have it? Yeah, I do. Okay, it's not as nasty as it looked when it came out of the wash, but you can kind of see what happened here.
Oh, man.
My wallet's a lot more beat up than that, but to be fair, it's my dad's old wallet that's years old at this point.
So yeah, my old trifold has officially bit the dust.
Yeah.
And now I moved on to a magnet wallet.
Yeah, the AirTag is IP67, which is a maximum depth of 1 meter up to 30 minutes.
Well, the washer goes on for more than 30 minutes.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, it ended up destroying the AirTag. My phones couldn't find it afterwards, so that had to go, sadly.
Did you get like scared when you couldn't find your wallet?
Oh, I found it when I was putting my clothes in the dryer. That's how I knew.
Oh.
Did you manage to get all your money and such out of it? Or wait a minute, you can wash money, paper money, it's okay.
Wait, you can?
Yeah, I mean, all I had was $140 in it. Well, I spent the $100 already, but like here's the other $40 that have yet to be spent.
Yeah, so fun fact about money, it is actually made out of cloth and not paper. So because, clothes are also made out of cloth, money can be washed. Or at least paper money can be washed. Yeah, it's designed to make money more durable.
It also gave me an opportunity just to clean out my wallet in general. I mean, there's one card that if I head back to the DC area, which that might be happening in August, I have to figure out what to do with this card.
I've never been on one of those, the metro things, so maybe we can...
You've never been on the public transit system?
Maybe once or twice, but I really there's none near me unless I drive out pretty far. So until I was like, 16, I was like kind of like going and looking into it. I'm like, if I wanted to go there, I'm already going to be driving in the area. Why not just commit to it fully? Have my car on me.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. I'm surprised, though, that you never taken the public transit system in DC. Honestly, I'd hate to drive in that area. Just by watching traffic go by and experiencing riding through the highways. I took a bus to DC last time. I'd hate to drive through there. It would be so stressful. I would much rather take public transportation.
Well, I'm gonna show you when you come. You get used to it so like much that you don't even realize anything's wrong. I have gone through all these cities, and I've just been like, yeah, that it's every time I go into DC, which it's just you're just sitting for so long, and you just have to like worry about the lights and stuff. But I actually kind of enjoy driving in DC just because the scenery is really cool. I think I'm the only person who's ever said that.
Yeah, I like driving.
No, the scenery's cool, but
yeah, I like driving. I've never actually driven into a big city before, but my closest big city is known.
Chicago.
My closest big city is known as being one of the worst cities to drive through in the Southeast.
I know which one it is.
Yeah, it is not known for being. It's not. So I don't count. Being stuck in traffic there doesn't even count as a real traffic jam because it's so bad.
I mean, I drove through a few in Illinois. There's Bloomington. There's Chicago. Champaign was a lot bigger than I expected, actually. It took forever to get through that area.
Champaign's a college town, so that's why. That's where the University of Illinois is, but we're off topic, so...
Yes, we are. All right. Let's get back on topic.
Okay, so do you have anything more to say about the AirTag 2, or shall I move on to the M4 Ultra Mac Pro?
I think we can move on.
Yep.
So, believe it or not, Apple is rumored to release another Mac Pro, which will have an M4 Ultra sometime later this year.
Again?
Why?
How can the M2 Mac Pro be selling as well as it is? How? I mean, unless Apple's planning on discontinuing the Mac Studio, which would be a real shame if they did, because Apple hasn't updated the Mac Studio since the M2 line. There's no rumors
they
of a new
haven't
Mac
done the same to the Mac Pro either.
Yeah, so I really want Apple to release I just want Apple to just keep going with the Mac Studio. Just get rid of the stupid Mac Pro already. It's not worth... The Mac Pro is not worth it at all. It's so
I have an interesting video on that coming up in a few days, weeks, not sure. And I do mention pricing in that video and why the Mac Pro, it got out of hand.
Oh yeah, that's an understatement.
The Mac Pro is the Pro in the Mac Pro is literally just take more money, as Sam Tom calls it.
Yeah.
For what customizability? Nothing hardware-wise tends to interface natively with the Apple Silicon anyways.
Yeah. But,
Yeah, but...
I don't know. I feel like they should probably just discontinue it.
Yeah, same.
What's the next topic?
I thought they were going to discontinue the Mac Pro in 2023 or 2024, or in 2023, but let's move on to the M5 MacBook Pro, which is going to be the final MacBook Pro of the current design that is rumored to release this fall.
Okay, so plan to upgrade an M6 then.
Yeah, I'll probably do... Well, I don't know if I'll probably do the M7. Yeah.
I'll probably end up doing M6, maybe M5, depends on if this slowness issue fixes, which it kind of has been.
I don't know what I'm going to do with mine. Because on one hand, I'm not exactly a fan of the thickness and weight of this thing, but
it's a nice computer. With that said,
that's the thing. It's such a nice computer, and it
they
still
handled
runs
the weight
as
and
if
the
it's brand new
well.
out of the box.
Yeah.
So
I mean, to be fair, we have to consider the fact that it's going to be almost 2 years since the MacBook Pro is going to get redesigned. So by that point, I'm sure Intel Macs are going to be almost completely dropped.
We'll have to see.
Therefore, Alpha's MacBook Pro will literally be hanging on the edge of support, which means that will probably be fall late 2026 will probably be a good time for him to upgrade anyway. And oh yeah, I'll be a senior in high school.
I don't know. I think
time.
Apple Silicon Macs are going to get longer support than you think.
Look at the iPhones.
I don't. They'll probably get around the same. Yeah, I might get. Apple Silicon Macs, I mean, it's possible they get some pretty good support, but I would still.
They used to average around 8 years of support before the whole Apple Silicon transition came into play. So.
They'll get better support.
I don't know. I'm pretty sure this will get better support than a lot of Intel Macs as of late. And the reason why we've been losing a lot more Intel Macs faster and faster is just because Apple wants to get fully over to Apple Silicon so they can stop optimizing for two platforms. Because again, Intel and Apple Silicon are completely different hardware architectures. You have to imagine the amount of money they're pouring in trying to optimize macOS for each platform.
Yeah, that's why
I don't know. I feel like M5 though. What's up?
No, you go ahead, Tabby.
I feel like M5 is going to be another, like, one of those minor upgrades, but I think that it'll mean more in the long run.
Yeah, it's like the iPhone 6s. Like the iPhone 6... Hang on, let me grab it after I take S4. The iPhone 6s, I mean, the 6s was a really cool upgrade because it got 3 when it was new because it got 3D touch, and the iPhone 6s was a cool upgrade when it was new because it got 3D touch and an all-new 12-megapixel back camera and improved front camera. However, it still looks very similar to the iPhone 6. However, the 6s got 3 more years of iOS updates than the 6.
It made a big difference.
Which ultimately, in the long run, made a huge difference.
Yeah.
And also, the 6S is the last iPhone with a headphone jack. Which, back in that day, was a big catastrophe to live without a headphone jack.
I don't know. What's our next topic, though?
Alright, the next topic is that Apple is expected to release the M5 iMac this fall as well.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah. It was pretty cool.
I almost don't care just because at this point, it's not silicon upgrades that we need, it's various other, well, it's not generational silicon upgrades we need at least, but we need a performance version of the iMac again. We need another iMac Pro.
Yeah.
Yeah, we really do at this point.
I haven't uploaded it yet. That's because I haven't finished editing it, but it's going up tomorrow. I speculated if there was supposed to be something hardware related at WWDC this year.
I hope it's
My
an iMac
guess
Pro.
is it would be an iMac Pro.
No,
I hope.
Wait a second, you're releasing a video tomorrow about your predictions for Apple in 2024?
Yep.
Guess who else is?
Oh. Great minds think alike, I guess.
Yes, now granted, I didn't predict an M5 Pro in my script, or an iMac Pro in my script, and you'll see more about how it plays out once you see my video tomorrow, but yes. We're basically going to be making the same video, which, except on Apple event press releases, we haven't really done that. Although, to be fair, since we're both doing this now, react at the end of the year, start to Apple's predictions, and predict at the beginning of the year, since we're doing that thing now. Or did you get that inspiration from me to do that?
Nope. It was actually from Drew.
Ah. Yeah. Oh, wait a second. Yeah, because I initially got my inspiration from Rucker, from Tech World, who is currently on hiatus, he did that, which made inspired me to do that. However, now I'm realizing that he probably also got his inspiration from Drew, from Taylors of Tech.
Yeah.
I remember
Rucker was a former TIFP guest, by the way.
I remember the first time Drew did one of those. I don't know if it was in 2019 or 2020, but the 2020 one was absolutely hilarious to me because when he made the predictions video for 2020, he started off by saying, "And welcome back to the 2020s," and there was something related to a recession happening like a century ago. So let's have another recession for the 2020s.
Oh no, Drew initiated the recession.
That's what he said, and then when he reacted to it at the end of the year, his expression, he's like, "Oh my gosh, why did I say that?"
FYI, the recession didn't start until 1929, or technically that was the Great Depression, but yeah. The Great Depression started in 29, as it was the Roaring 20s, but not roaring for everybody, but yeah.
Yeah. Oh my god, that was just too funny. Oh.
What's our next topic, though?
Alright, the M5 Mac Mini is also expected to release this fall.
Yeah, it's gonna be nice.
Yeah, it will.
Cool. I mean, I'm still more hyped about its design over the chip.
Yeah, same. But our next topic...
They fix the power button at some point.
Yes, I do. I want Apple to fix the power button with the next Mac Mini, because, I know they won't, but...
Just put it on the Magic Keyboard.
Yeah, do that, or else just put a power button on the Mac Mini again, like normal people, or else... I know this is a bit controversial, but sell an adapter.
Yeah. That'll work.
Like, I mean,
Put the
I
headphone
thought
jack in
that
the back
basic
again,
Apple
just
guy...
get rid of it.
I don't know. I like the headphone jack on the front, to be honest.
Yeah.
But if you're running speakers, then it's a problem if you're running speakers.
I don't know. It makes it easier to swap out speakers and headphones because it's in the front.
Yeah.
Kind of, but if you have the speakers hardwired, then you're just going to have that wire always coming out.
Well, if that were the case, then I'd probably use USB or something.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people are doing.
That and a lot of monitors these days, they have built-in headphone jacks on them.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, hold on, I'm getting a call. I'll be right back.
How many calls is he gonna get?
You got a call last week, Alpha.
That's not normal for me. Okay.
Yeah, that's true. Tabby gets so many calls, and I've only gotten one call. I've only gotten one call during a TIFP recording that wasn't from Spencer and interrupting us, and that was early on, and that was my dad calling me, and I just texted him and asked me to call him back, and I asked him what the call was about. I guess I know where our next topic will be. It wasn't one that I was planning on having.
That's gracious. Pardon me.
The air quality isn't great in my area either right now. Because my nose is a little bit stuffy now, too.
For me, it's just extremely dry.
Mine kind of is, too, although, to be fair, it's 37 degrees out where I am right now, so why should I be surprised?
Well, also, unlike me, you're not close to a big lake.
Oh, yeah. That's right. I forgot that it's a whole lot colder where Alpha is. Right, I didn't forget.
Actually, the lake helps keep the area relatively warm compared to others. Like in Wisconsin, it's actually typically colder in Wisconsin than here. Wow, what is jammed in my nose? I just got something completely jammed in my nose. There we go. Almost.
Did you get an AirPod stuck in your nose?
Nope. Just a really bad cold.
Have you had to miss work?
Nope.
Sometimes
the only way we miss work is if we start blowing chunks out of either end.
Yeah, the only reason, sometimes with really bad colds, I get fever, so I have to miss school. However, this is very unusual for me, and I'm probably going to jinx it, but I've had perfect attendance so far this entire school year. Like, I just haven't gotten sick enough to miss school, which I've never had a school year with perfect attendance.
I don't think it's possible for anyone to have perfect attendance at school because of various appointments people have to book.
Yeah, I mean, I had perfect attendance for one semester. I had almost perfect attendance when I was in 5th, 6th, and 7th grade. In 5th grade, I never missed a full day. In 6th grade, there was only part of one class. There were only like two classes I missed. One was because the power went out, and the other was because I was misinformed about scheduling. I was very unstable my 6th grade year. 7th grade, I only missed one day because I had COVID-19. I was too sick to even bother doing schoolwork.
My dad does not like my sister's cat's name.
All right. What? Can't you ask people to stop calling you during TIFP recordings?
I just get well, one of the calls was kind of important. That was relating to the phone that I got today. But I just kind of get these types of calls. I don't know. People just kind of call me randomly. But I do want to mention one thing about the Mac Mini, the M4. So I was thinking,
the M5. The M5 or the M4?
M4. I was heavily considering, I was very heavily considering replacing my Mac Studio with it, right? To the point where I was probably about a week away from just saying screw it and buying it. But I kind of thought about it, and I'm like, it's a nice computer, but I'm just going to keep the Studio, and I'm going to try and get Apple to work on it again, because I really don't want to spend another $1,000 on a Mac Mini after trade-in. I don't want to wait for them to get in stock. I don't want to mess with it. I'm going to have to buy an all-new docking station for it. I'm just going to have to deal with it. But I would actually be interested in buying an entirely base model Mac Mini now that it's got the right amount of RAM on the education store. It's only $500. And honestly,
yeah, it's really handy. But speaking of, guys, I just discovered that one of my cats managed to pee on my desk.
What?
And I didn't know it until now, so I have to go clean that up right now.
That's a bra moment. Well, that's unfortunate,
dude.
See,
guys, I'll be back here with cleaning supplies.
Yeah, but like I was saying, I'm considering putting one up in my bedroom for $500, and I may have a trade-in of something just completely random that I might need to get rid of soon. Just because I think the trade-in values are going to go down soon. I might end up just going for one, honestly. It's a nice computer. $500. It'll serve its purpose. I'm going to do quite a few things to my bedroom this year. I'm I'm going to redesign it basically, and I'm gonna repaint, get some new furniture in there, just a little bit of everything. And
Oh, so you're doing a whole makeover.
yeah, I've been dealing with this bedroom kind of wearing down for the past few years, right? Just like random stuff, you just get random wear and tear. And honestly, I'm kind of tired of just dealing with it. You know, for the past few years, there's been this big hole in the wall from a monitor actually fell into it years ago, like 2020, and the stand caused this hole. Now I've just been dealing with it, and I'm so tired of looking at it. I am. That's actually relating to the call I just did. I was considering because my Home Depot closes pretty late. I was considering going to Home Depot after we finished to buy some wall patch, but it turns out we do have some that I'm gonna try and use. Not sure if it's still good or not though, but I'm gonna get a new desk in there. Gonna be a glass desk this time because honestly, I'm trying to go for like a 2000s aesthetic.
Just make sure you have a mouse pad for your mouse, because I hear computer mice do not like glass desks.
Yeah, I'm gonna look for a leather mouse pad too. I got this fake leather one for my desk, like my main desk, my actual studio desk. Um, it's really nice because it protects the surface of my desk. It's a nice place to put stuff down, not have to worry about scratching, and it gives a nice bit of like tone to the desk. It's gray, but I'm gonna look for an actual leather one that I can put there. I'm gonna do a bed frame or a new bed frame, one that actually.
Here's another suggestion. I recently got this for my desk here and at work.
Oh man, I really need to get a keyboard palm rest. Like I have actually been rolling up this microfiber towel that I have here, and I've been using that as a palm rest, but I am getting tired of using a microfiber towel as a palm rest. I'm gonna try and get some
Yeah,
glass.
I got them because my hands had started cramping at work after long programming sessions, and I just.
Yeah, and I have a thicker keyboard, so it's really really annoying. But yeah, I'm gonna try and get a glass shelf or two. Um, I'm just gonna try and make the room actually enjoyable to be in again. Because right now the only time that I spend in my bedroom, going to sleep and waking up. And when I play, sometimes when I like use my TV in there. Because I have a really nice TV in there, but I hate being in the room, so I'm gonna try and fix that. Also need to buy a desk chair in there because I have a desk in there, but I don't have a desk chair, so that's kind of.
I get why you need a desk chair. I'm back, everybody.
Nice.
Yeah,
I got that issue squared away.
Yeah. I keep thinking about another thing. We're going to go way off topic again, but
So,
I keep thinking about requirements I want in a house when I move out.
oh yeah.
Is that coming up?
The number one requirement I want is I want one separate room that is for nothing but solely recording, be it podcasts, YouTube videos, and it is so that way it stays clean and you do not have to see the amazing mess that lies behind me all the time.
I personally kind of want that too, because it would be, I mean, granted, it's going to be even, just FYI, is Alpha going to move out this year?
I don't know. I really don't know. I'd like to make this winter here my last one, but I don't know.
Are you gonna get another house in the UP, or are you gonna go somewhere else? Because you can't go to Asheville now, or at least it'd be not the best idea right now.
No, it would be foolish for me to try to go to Asheville now. The housing market has gotten even worse after the flood, obviously. So, no, it'd be foolish for me to go now. I can't afford a house in the UP, though, because they're all like $1 million. I don't have $1 million lying around.
I get that. Why would you pay $1 million just to live in the UP?
Yeah, and I hate it here too. I hate living in this state.
So are you just gonna find a house like in another state that's cheaper?
Potentially. I don't know though. There's too many unknowns and uncertainties that take all of what I'm saying for a grain of salt, because I'm probably going to end up unfortunately stuck here for yet another winter. Though if possible, I would like to make this winter here my last one.
I get that, because I'm obviously a pretty good distance away from moving out of my house, just because I've still got a year. I still have 2 years of high school left to finish.
Weren't you considering getting like an apartment when you turn 18 or something?
Me?
Yeah.
I can't. Yeah. No, I can't. No, well, first of all, I can't do that because my 18th birthday is in less than a year, and I'll still be in high school when that happens. So no, and I'm the age of the next grade level above me because I was held back in preschool. So I'll be turning 18 my
just stay at
year.
home. You should just stay at home with your family for a while, get everything on track, and then when you're really ready to, you should move.
Yeah, I'm gonna wait till
rushing that is.
Yeah, no, I was never planning on getting an apartment when I turn 18. Like, I'm just gonna wait until I have a job and I can afford a house, and then I'll move out. But it might just be. But if the housing market stays in the current path that it is, I might just have to wait until I get married to actually get a house.
Dude, we need a crash in the housing market. We just need one.
Yeah, because I don't know if I'd be able to afford a house in my state, but I doubt I could. Because the housing market is just so bad.
It's an absolute
We're so off topic!
We're off topic again. Just own it. We just own it.
All right, shall we move on to our next topic about a new Apple mouse in the works?
Oh, God, another one. Why?
I mean, hey, this one has had a pretty long run. Give it credit for that.
Yeah, the original Magic Mouse.
There are some improvements I'd like to be made to this mouse. Not the shape or the charge port, because now it's finally USB-C. The number one improvement I want to see to this mouse is the tracking sensor.
Oh, did you buy a USB-C one?
No, this is still the space gray, solid space gray edition.
Oh, yeah. Man, I like that solid space gray one. I still need to get my silver and space gray one replaced.
Yeah. My one complaint, though, is just the tracking sensor. It's too slow. And when I turn it up to full speed in macOS, it's still too slow.
Yeah, I can see that.
So that's the only major improvement I would like to see, because I would like it to take up... I don't have a lot of mousing area on my desk. Gee, I wonder why. So as a result, I like not needing to move my mouse that far. And also, at my desk at work, I'm used to using a mouse where I basically have this... Do I have anything similar in size? Picture a square version of the short edge of this iPad. That's all I have for mousing area. It's not a lot. And I have that thing cranked to max tracking speed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I understand why a new Magic Mouse. 'Cause, I mean, the original Magic Mouse released back in 2015. My YouTube channel wasn't even out then. Let's see. I graduated kindergarten in 2015, for goodness sakes. I'm going into my junior. I'm a sophomore right now. Well, so yeah, I have a driver's license now, and I was still 4'6", 7", somewhere in that range when 2015. I'm 6'1" now.
Yeah.
But yeah, literally, I don't want them to change much about this design, and I hope they don't change too much about this design, because
Neither do I.
I have yet to find another mouse with scrolling capabilities just like this. People like to say, oh, the MX Master can side scroll. The Logitech MX Master can also side scroll. Not anywhere near as good as this. I'm sorry. It doesn't even come close.
I personally just like using my trackpad just because it's more integrated, but that's just me. But I also used to be a really big mouse guy back when I had crappier laptops.
Well, most of the time I use the trackpad on my Mac. It's just when I video edit, that's when I want my mouse back, and it's because I want to be able to side scroll and move the playhead at the same time. You can't do that with the trackpad.
Yeah, and I don't really do that stuff, but I also don't. But even though I'm on Final Cut Pro now, I don't do that complex editing in my videos.
Gotta blow it again. Jeez. Let's see. You guys want to talk about the next topic, or do you have anything else to say about the mouse? Because I'm going to blow my nose real quick.
All right.
It's the next topic.
There's an M3 iPad Air that's in the works that's going to apparently release this March, but it'll have a new Magic Keyboard.
M3.
Yeah. And it'll have a new keyboard that'll cost probably as much as another iPad.
I guess so.
Because $300 is very cheap for an iPad keyboard, or $350, especially given that. Or how much does the iPad Pro keyboard cost?
Like 350, something like that.
That's as much as a new iPad. That's as much as an iPad 10th generation.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would like to see Apple release. Yeah, I hope Apple makes a new Magic Keyboard cheaper, but we know that won't happen. But I mean, the M3 chip, that'll be cool. However, I just hope that Apple fixes the colors of the iPad Air with the M3 variant.
They hopefully will.
Wash them out.
Yeah.
Huh?
Hopefully.
Because my iPad Mini 7 has basically the same colors, and I have to say, this doesn't even look blue.
Yeah.
Or it looks a little bit blue, but not that blue.
Yeah.
I have nothing to say on it, if that's what you're wondering.
All right, shall I move on to our next topic now about the M5 iPad Pro?
Yeah. M5.
Yeah, so there's an iPad Pro from the M5 processor, which is rumored to release later this fall.
Yeah, I mean, at least they're updating the iPad Pro consistently.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they're updating it with the wrong stuff.
Yeah, you're right.
Any expensive iPad, be it the Air or the Pro, because the Air unfortunately falls in the same category with the Pro. I don't care what hardware you put in it, because we know at the end of the day, it's not going to be taken advantage of. So, until they fix it, why should I care? Why should anybody else care?
You bought an M4 iPad Pro, Alpha.
I did not buy it for the M4 chip. I bought it for Face ID and the 12.9-inch screen.
And thinness, that's good too.
Yeah,
I also really appreciated the thinness.
I mean, those are all valid points, to be fair.
I did not buy it for the M4 chip.
That makes more sense. I mean, most
because I fully knew there is no way I can take advantage of it with iPadOS in its current state. It's just impossible.
All right, shall I move on? Do you have anything more to say about the M5 iPad Pro, or shall I move on to the next M5 product?
Huh?
I've got nothing else to say.
All right, so there is a the next generation of the Apple Vision Pro. Yes, apparently there's enough sale. Apparently the Vision Pro sold enough for there to be a next generation. The next generation of the Vision Pro is apparently going to release this fall with an M5.
I don't know exactly what faster processor is going to solve.
I don't know either, but I mean, there might be other features too, but I mean, the Vision Pro, I don't care what you do to it. It's just a useless product. It's a useless concept.
I mean, I'm not saying this because I want the product to die necessarily. It's just, I don't see how this is going to solve its major fundamental problem in the fact that it doesn't prove why we need this tech over our current day tech.
I know.
Why is this better? Why can we justify $3,500 for that thing? Upgrading the chip is not going to change that fundamental problem.
I mean, why would you even just justify $1,750 for a budget Vision Pro model, which is also rumored to release this year, but will have worse displays and speakers? Because the Vision Pro's displays don't already look like garbage.
They never look like garbage to me.
They look like garbage to me.
2 8K displays?
Yeah, they look like I swear it looks like they look like I'm looking at a 480p or 360p display. I swear they look, especially 3D videos, like they look so bad.
It might have been the content you were watching. I don't think it was the displays.
No, it was 3D content. It was full 3D content they were showing, and even the displays just didn't look that high quality to me.
Okay.
But yeah, apparently there's a budget model of the Vision Pro coming.
I kind of need to.
I'm reading the next topic already.
We need to move on to the next topic.
What is the next topic?
Or I was asking Alpha if we needed to. Yes.
I don't know. It sounds like Tabby had something to say.
They need to make a cheaper Vision Pro.
I mean, they're rumored to this year.
Yeah, we'll see.
All right. Well, I guess we'll have to talk about that when that occurs later this year if it happens. Even though I'm quite surprised the Vision Pro is doing well enough to get a sequel, given that Apple has to cease production of the current Vision Pro. But oh well. Yes. Everybody, the Vision Pro is about to change its game massively. Could become so much more useful, everybody. I promise you, it's going to become the most useful product you've ever seen. Because the one thing that the Vision Pro needs in order to make it a successful product is Apple Intelligence. And it's rumored to come on Vision OS 3. I'm obviously being sarcastic. I don't think Apple Intelligence is useful.
I thought they already had Apple Intelligence on OS 2.
No, the Vision Pro doesn't support Apple Intelligence.
Oh, that's weird.
Yes, that's why it's not worth $3,500, because it doesn't have Apple Intelligence, the latest and greatest about the software technology. Yeah, that's why it's not worth $3,500. But with this software update with Apple Intelligence, now it will be worth $3,500. Every single penny.
Genuine question, guys. How do you think that Apple could get Vision Pro to actually be worth it? Like, what would they have to do?
Discontinue it. Or I would say discontinue it, or else,
there's got to be something, because it's not... It's not entirely...
That's the fundamental problem that it has. What does it do that is useful?
Yeah, if it was cheaper, it could be a really good, like, big screen product.
But I mean, even then, like, big screens aren't exactly shown to be that useful. I mean, bigger screens like on the Vision Pro, just because they're just generally are not necessarily the greatest resolution. But I mean, or they don't look to be the greatest resolution, even though they are.
I don't know. I found this phenomenon where, even though, yes, okay, I'm the big screen king here. Everybody knows that. Sometimes increasing the size of your display can be handled wrong. There's a massive difference between using my 32-inch monitors and my 27-inch monitors. Not because of the screen size, although albeit that does have a part of it. But resolution makes a big impact. And the amount of content I'm able to display on my 32-inch monitors, not just because of the extra 5 inches or whatever, but because I have many more pixels to work with, I can fit more content and I can see it better compared to when I plug it into my 27-inch monitors. Those are only 1080p, and that means I have a lot less pixels to work with and everything's smaller. And I don't think, like what some people are thinking with, oh, you can make this infinitely sized display take up all these inches of wall space. That's not going to be useful if the content's going to basically take up the same number of pixels on your display so you can read it.
Exactly, which it probably will anyway, because I mean, if you're using it as like a big screen monitor, like, it's not going to take advantage of the bigger resolution of the Vision Pro.
That, and it's also all about perspective. Like, when I sit this close to my 32-inch monitors, oh my goodness, the screen's huge. But when I stand all the way back here, it looks about the size of my iPad. Yeah, there's more to screens than just display size. And I don't see how Vision Pro is going to fix the screen size issue. Oh, the infinite display or whatever.
Which, by the way, is not infinite.
Yeah, and even as a home theater setup, I'm sorry, but I'm one of those people who appreciates a real, proper, big screen mounted on the wall and a proper surround sound system.
Exactly, because, I mean, why would you... Exactly, because oftentimes you're watching movies and TV shows with other people.
Yeah, that's another problem that Vision Pro has for a home theater setup or whatever. Only one person can watch the movie.
Yeah.
And then the only other thing that I could think of that other people like to bring up is the ability to increase the screen size on your Mac and fit more content that way.
Just plug your Mac into a bigger monitor. Like, I mean, you could realistically...
I mean, the thing is, it's useful when you're on the go or on a plane. I can see that. But then you run into the hiccup of, oh, what if you want to show somebody something that's on your display?
And if another big issue is that, imagine if you're moving around like this on a plane trying to navigate your Vision Pro, or I mean, technically it wouldn't be... Imagine doing this all the time. Like, people are gonna think you're crazy unless they know about the Vision Pro.
Yeah, that's another thing. I'm sorry, but these hand gestures, they have not caught on.
Yeah, the Vision Pro was so unintuitive.
I'll be right back. I have to unplug my mom's car. Give me 1 second. You guys can keep talking.
The Vision Pro was so unintuitive that even when the Vision Pro depreciates even more in value, which let me check how much they are used on eBay. Even when they depreciate even more, I'm not going to ever get a Vision Pro. I'm not ever going to get a Vision Pro for my collection since they're that unintuitive. I
mean, I don't know if I want to completely judge how easy it is to use. I had trouble navigating, but that's because my eyes are, well, I need prescription glasses, and when I am not wearing my prescription glasses, it completely throws my eyes off, and I can understand why it was having trouble tracking my eyes. So maybe if you have better eyes than me, it might work better. I don't know, but at least for me, it's...
I have better eyes, and it didn't even work for me that well. But oh my gosh.
Well, some reviewers said that the tracking is quite great. Yeah, it's amongst the best in the industry.
Yeah, I mean, the physical tracking is actually pretty good, the Vision Pro. I will admit that. It's good, but it's not, but it's just actually getting it to, like, knowing the hand gestures is so complicated. Although, to be fair, I guess I should say that I do have a bit of an issue with trying to copy other people's movements in terms of hand gestures, so that's probably another reason for it. But on a somewhat related note, I found a 512 gigabyte Vision Pro on eBay for guess how much?
I'm gonna be sad if it's over 4 figures.
$2,100.
That's still too much.
Granted, that's actually pretty bad when you consider that's $3,500 brand new. And it's already depreciated.
I mean, yeah, the depreciation on it sucks, but even then, it's still not worth that much.
Yeah. I want to know how many people are actually buying Vision Pros and how the... Let me look up how many Vision Pros have been sold.
Yeah, but to answer Tabby's question about what could Apple do to it to actually make it worth it, that's what I don't know. That's what I've been asking Apple to tell us. Why is it worth $3,500? Why should we justify that much money for this thing? They haven't given us an answer.
It's apparently sold like only 224,000 units.
I have to wonder how many of those are returned though.
That's still pretty bad when you consider that the Wii U, which was considered a failure, sold 13 million units.
Back. 13 million units?
Of the Wii U, yeah.
Yeah.
Weird to think of that as a failure.
Yeah, the Wii U, the Wii U thought it was considered to be sold badly. I mean, even the original iPhone still sold 6 million units. The Vision Pro hasn't even sold 1 million. It's been out for a year.
It's too expensive. No one's paying that much.
And even then, the people who did buy it, how many returned it? How many people just bought it to review and return it?
So many.
I feel like everyone who bought the Vision Pro is an app developer, except for maybe 500 to 1,000 people.
You know, I would not be shocked if that were the case.
I think there might be more apps there might be more apps that are compatible with the Vision Pro than there are Vision Pro users. Vision Pros out there. Because
that's gotta be the case.
Can't you run iPad apps on it?
I remember on my video talking about its identity crisis problem or whatever. A lot of people kept telling me in the comments, "Oh, it's for developers. Oh, it's for developers."
What is a developer going to do with it?
Then why did Apple sell this to us as a regular consumer product?
Yeah, Apple, we've gone to this before, but Apple would have made it exclusive to developers if it was just for developers. But I guess on an unrelated subject, shall I move on to our last two topics? Just so that we can wrap this up in time.
Sure.
Yeah, sure, why not?
All right, so this is actually good news. And let me grab a product that this is going to remind you of. So the next HomePod Mini is rumored to release this fall, but it's going to have Apple's Wi-Fi 7 chip to possibly double as a Wi-Fi router.
See, that would be cool.
Yes.
So basically, they're going to turn this into a Wi-Fi router?
And it'll still work as a normal HomePod.
See, if they did that... Oh, I told you guys, I actually have a Sonos speaker now, right? I told you?
No, you did not.
So, I had a choice between HomePod and... I basically was about to get HomePod, right? I was gonna go out and get a HomePod. I needed a speaker, for down here, because I listen to music pretty consistently, you know. And I listened to the Sonos, and I'm like, this just sounds so much better than the HomePod, you know. And I feel like Sonos's entire product has a lot of pros to it. And I looked at the HomePod, I'm like, what does this bring that I don't? Because I'm never gonna use a smart assistant because Siri sucks. Siri's just awful. I feel like every smart assistant is awful and cannot do anything properly.
Pretty much.
I've never had a good experience with one of those, but I'm like, I might as well just go and get the Sonos. It sounds better. I think that I would rather have Sonos be in charge of my thing because with Sonos, if I want to, I can use Bluetooth. If I want to, I can use AirPlay. And
That is nice.
I have had such a bad experience with some Apple AirPlay things. I have honestly.
Oh, that reminds me. I have to ask you guys this. Do you experience a bug when you use AirPlay? I have this bug where I'll stream a YouTube video from my MacBook to my HomePod so I have better audio. But randomly, once I do it, it starts playing the video in a different language.
Huh?
I do not have that bug, although I don't AirPlay my YouTube videos from my Mac, so...
I don't understand why, but when I AirPlay a YouTube video to my HomePod, sometimes the audio will just start playing in another language. Most of the time it picks Spanish.
I've never had that happen. Huh.
It happens to me all the time.
That's so weird.
That's weird.
I don't know if it's with Safari or a different web browser. All I know is I'll just randomly start playing a YouTube video, and if there's other language versions of that video elsewhere, it will just randomly start playing that other language. It's just my MacBook. It has not happened with my iPad, my iPhones, or my Apple TV. It is just the MacBook.
Yeah, that's weird.
Speaking of Apple TV, shall I move on to our final topic?
Mm-hmm.
The next the Apple TV, Apple's rumored to release a new Apple TV 4K this fall, but it will also have the feature to double as a Wi-Fi router. Now, I've never actually publicly revealed my mom's family room stuff, but basically in there, her Roku Ultra is directly hooked up alongside her Wi-Fi router. So in other words, we could kill two birds with one stone with this next Apple TV if it does contain a Wi-Fi 7 chip.
Honestly, I don't care. I don't care about the Apple TV getting the Wi-Fi capabilities. I mean, it's nice to have it as a signal booster. If you can hardwire Ethernet, that would be nice.
Yeah.
But just the fact that Apple's getting back into the Wi-Fi game.
Yeah, like hopefully they'll release another airport time capsule again.
Yeah, that's my favorite Wi-Fi product I've made. Though I have to ask, who here thinks that this is because of the whole TP-Link situation?
The what now?
I do. Because, oh yeah, I forgot to mention to you guys, but here's my airport extreme, by the way. I forgot to mention to you guys, because yeah, TP-Link is getting banned, but I actually have a TP-Link Wi-Fi extender. Okay. Oh, by the way, this drawer is now broken, so I have to try and get a new drawer sometime, which is why I moved some of my cables up here. But yeah, this is my TP-Link router or Wi-Fi extender. It just made my signal slower though, so I decided to stop using it. But yeah, I got this for my 13th birthday.
So I wouldn't be shocked if Apple's doing it because TP-Link's going to be exiting, and now they're seeing they're seeing an open space. Because if I recall, doesn't Apple sell a lot of TP-Link stuff on their site?
Let me look at it.
It was either that or Linksys. I don't remember which one.
Yeah, we have Linksys right now at our house.
So yeah, they're bringing back the Wi-Fi routers. Just bring us back the home servers, please.
No, they sell Amplify apparently. But wait a minute, let me look up.
Shopping.
Yeah, Apple doesn't sell either TP-Link or Linksys anymore. I think they used to sell Linksys though, but yeah.
Huh.
That would honestly be kind of interesting, but I'm just glad that Apple's getting back in the Wi-Fi game since it was a real game that it was sad to see Apple go.
So, that's good.
Yeah, guys, this is now because my old cable drawer is now broken. All right, well, do you have anything more to say, or shall we go ahead and wrap up the show now?
I think that's about it.
I can't think of much else either.
All right, so as always, thank you all for tuning in to another episode of the iTunes Fan Podcast. As always, I'm Teddy Maggart from the iTunes Fanboy.
Tabby Cat, 406, TC Tech, whatever.
My name is Alpha DeWolf from the
And as always, we hope to see you all in our next episode. So as always, adios and peace out.